Let me tell you something about these women who've been single for a long time, who've been independent for all their lives, who've been strong on their own. These jokers don't play with nobody. Listen, ain't no dudes gonna come around and think that they could do anything that they want to do, talk to them anyhow and do as they please. These women will quickly cut you off. They will show you that they don't need you. They will remind you, hey, listen, you just got here. I've been here by myself for all these years. Don't come here acting the ass now. One sign of inconsistency, you're out. 2 signs of jealousy, you're gone. 3 red flag, you are out. 4 bad thoughts, you're never coming back. But 1 lie, I'm telling you right now, that takes you out the game. Let me tell you this right here. When you're messing with a grown woman who's been independent and single for many years, you gotta come correct. I'm just saying. She will ghost you quick. She loves herself.
Let me tell you, the longer you go without a man, the clearer you can see things. When you stop operating from a place of, I need a relationship, I need a man, and you start to see these men for who they really are and what they have to offer and what they can bring to your life, the quicker you start to realize that a lot of them are just not it. And this is not me hating on men, but I'm just being realistic. The longer you go without a man, the less BS you're going to tolerate. You're going to become so good at detecting when a man is just not worth your time. You're going to be able to detect BS from miles away. When your desire for partnership stops overriding your desire for genuine love and genuine respect and genuine connection, you'll start to see things so differently. And I'm not lying, it's going to change you. You're going to start making decisions that you probably wouldn't have made before, and you won't be willing to settle for just anything. The longer you go being alone, the longer you go single, the more you're going to enjoy your own company, the more you're going to enjoy being alone. And that means when a man comes, he's going to have to actually show you that he's worth your time, you know, he's worth you even giving him the time of the day, because baby, you've been on your own and you've been good. So that man is going to have to be able to make a big impact in your life, a real difference in your life, and it has to be very clear, because you're no longer looking to just be booed up just for the sake of being booed up. Like, you want intention. So they are going to have to come with something tangible, something real, something genuine. Otherwise, what's the point? Like, I can stay by myself.
When a woman has been single for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, the idea of dating doesn't even sound fun anymore. It doesn't sound appealing. If anything, it sounds repulsive. And that's because she's gotten so used to being on her own and so used to being in her own company that she has welcomed her own solitude with open arms and embraced it. When a woman has been single for this long, she has become extremely intolerant to any kind of bullshit. She has become a drama and toxic repellent. So any kind of unnecessary drama that a man tries bringing into her life, she will cut him off with absolutely no explanation, because her peace is more important than any single thing in the world. I've known women like this, and they're quick to cut anyone or anything off that is not serving them in a positive fashion. So if you can't match her peace, you might just want to leave her alone, because women who are like this, that have been single for so damn long, a WYD text message is going to turn them off super fucking fast. Hey, how's your day been? What you up to? And the crazy thing about talking to a woman like this is you don't even have to worry about other men who she could potentially be talking to, because she's not talking to any of them. She doesn't want to entertain random, insignificant, pointless conversations. WYD. Nope, I'm not going to entertain that. That's what she's thinking. What you're really in competition against with a woman like this is her peaceful life that she has built up over time throughout the years of that deep dive of self-discovery, to where she's gotten to know herself and love herself. You're in competition against her planning trips for herself. You're in competition against her taking herself out randomly on a sushi date on a Tuesday at 7:30. You're in competition with her weighted blanket, her 6, 7, 8 pillows that are just laying across her whole bed. And speaking of bed, she sleeps on that shit from corner to corner, horizontally. She doesn't even sleep on it like a normal person, because she loves to take up the entire bed. You think she's gonna give that up for a dude that's texting her WYD? Her being single for this long means that she doesn't have to wake up every morning to cook for someone. If she wants to have an espresso, a macchiato, a matcha tea for breakfast, she can do that. If she wants to have Fruit Loops for breakfast, some cereal, she can do that. The pressure of cooking for someone is non-existent.
That's another reason why I feel most women prefer to be single. The labor. Guys, once you get in a relationship with a man, you've already signed up for unpaid labor. The cooking, the cleaning, like even if you don't feel like cooking, when you're with a man, when you're in a relationship, especially when you guys are staying together, you must cook, you must clean, like you must do it all. And I feel like most women are just tired of that, you know, all that labor, all that unpaid labor. And at the end of the day, that man is still going to ask you, what do you bring to the table? That audacity, right?
Well, if she tells you I've been single for 3, 4, 5 years, take all these things into consideration. Trust me, bro, I know from experience. If you don't believe me, ask around, ask women, and they'll tell you.
A woman who has been single for a long time is not easy at all. One little argument and you would hear, that's exactly why I wanted to stay alone.
Lied to feminist women talking about how wonderful their life is because they don't have a husband, they don't have children. So they're showing, oh, today I slept in, I went to the spa, I went to Belize. They just talk about how nice their life is because they don't have the inconvenience of a husband and children. And these are young women who have been perpetually lied to. And I'm just telling you, if they do a follow-up at 50, they're not going to be happy. They're going to be working late. They're going to be lonely. They're going to have 7 cats and a couple of STDs.
How are women who are single going to have a couple of STDs? Like, I thought when you're single, like, you're not exposing yourself to all that stuff, you know, you're not sleeping around and stuff. So how are they going to be old with a couple of STDs if they are not even engaging with these men? Make it make sense.
And then at Christmas, they're going to be all alone, very sad. And what they're not going to post is, I'm winning.
By now, you're all aware of the loneliness epidemic that's going on with single men. And what I find really interesting is the amount of men that are coming to their aid. And rather than trying to encourage these men to be better catches, to encourage these men to be better partners, they'd rather try to guilt trip and shame women for not choosing them. Whether it's Tyler Perry saying, even if all he could do is pay the light bill, if he loves you, take him. And now you have this pastor. A pastor sounds like he's listening to these manosphere podcasts. Even the pastor is saying that you're going to die alone. Even the pastor is saying that you might as well get you some cats. You didn't get that out of a Bible, pastor, but you did get it from a podcast. Why not tell these men to be better? Why not tell them to be more emotionally intelligent and to help out around the house and to be caring and thoughtful and loving and to not think that everything revolves around them? As soon as women start decentering men, you start seeing men from the pulpit to the parking lot, sliding down the wall, throwing up and crying and all of that. It's like, they'll do anything but change. They'll do anything but improve. They'll do anything but be a better mate. So now you have this pastor trying to guilt trip and shame women for not choosing these men. There's a reason why they're not getting picked. You tell women to pick better, and when we're not picking you, you get mad about it. It's because you're not better. Telling a woman that she'll be better off with just any of these men than being alone? There are worse things than being single. There are worse things than being alone. The worst thing is actually being with somebody that makes you feel alone. But here they are from the pulpit pushing on you. You know what? You better get somebody because you're getting older. So is he. And if he's worried about being older and being alone, then he better step it up. I'm not even a single woman, but it's exhausting to me the amount of people that don't believe that you can be single and be happy. They could believe that you could be a George Clooney and a Leonardo DiCaprio. You could be a bachelor into your 30s and 40s and 50s and nobody bats an eye. I bet he's having the time of his life. But if a woman does it, oh, I'm sure she's miserable. Not every woman is built for that. Not every woman wants that. But she's selfish if she doesn't choose that, because her life is all supposed to be about service and servitude to some dusty man. They hear you, pastor, but they're not buying it. They're not going to let you convince them that they're not happy when they know that they are. They would much rather be single and selective and waiting until they find somebody that's worthy of their choice than just settle for anybody because the men out here are lonely. They're going to stay that way until they make themselves better choices.
You know what? It's funny when these men try to plant this fear into women that, you know, they are going to die alone with cats and stuff. It's like a projection, because it is the men that are actually scared to die alone. Most women have made peace with the fact that they would rather be single and alone than being with a man that adds nothing onto them, than being with a man that brings nothing but chaos into their lives. They would rather be alone. It is the men that are actually lonely. It is the men that are actually scared of dying alone. You know, and because they are scared of dying alone, being single and dying alone, they try to project that fear onto women so that women can actually give in and, you know, date them. Like, that's the whole science behind it. That's why most of them come on here and, you know, begin imposing this fear. Oh, you're going to be old with no kids, you're going to die alone, because that is what they want. They want to inflict that fear into women so that women can give in and, you know, actually date them regardless of their incompetence.
There's a woman on here that has 2 dogs and they are absolutely adorable. And she takes really good care of those dogs. Like, she bathes them, gives them these like spa treatment for the dogs. I'm talking about cooking steaks for the dogs. Like, the dogs eat better than some human beings. And it's just a single woman just taking care of those dogs who treats them like they're her children. The men in the comment section, the way that they are jealous of literal animals, the way that these puppies have these men, they're boxers in a bunch. It is insane. But they feel like all that effort is wasted. Like, because they want one of them to deserve all that effort. Why isn't she making a steak for one of us? Why isn't she clipping our toenails? Why isn't she like, sir? Some of these men, they only think that women are here for their utility. You're only here to be in service to one of them. So if you're out here and you're not serving one of them, they feel like your life is being wasted. How dare you cook and clean and you're not doing it for one of us? Child.
As a woman, the smarter you are, the more single you will be. Don't take this the wrong way. As a woman, the smarter and more aware that you are, the more single you will be. Why? Most men, all they require is admiration and complete submission from a partner. Most women, the more smart and more aware that they get, the more that they require more complex and more nuanced things from a partner. And if we live in a world where we're all aware that most people are not that bright and most people are not that smart, what do you think is going to happen? Now, this is not to say that everybody who's in a relationship is not smart or not bright. Because I mean, like, I have a boyfriend. Does that mean I'm stupid? I can already hear it now. I got a girl. Does that mean I'm not that bright or smart? No, that's not what I'm saying. Sometimes. But for a majority of situations, I'd say that the smarter you are, right, the more aware you are, the more difficult it will be, and the longer that you might remain single. That's why they call it settle down. It's called settle down for a reason. You have to settle down.
No, I actually agree with this. And I remember I made a video about this, saying that to be in a relationship in this day and era, you must be dumb. Like, you literally must be dumb. Like, you must overlook a lot of things. You must be willing to overlook a lot of BS. You must be willing to act like a fool. You must literally water yourself down just to say you have a man, just to say you're in a relationship. If you're one person that is woke, if you're one person that is smart and intelligent, being in a relationship is going to be hard, because these relationships actually require you to act a fool, you know? They require you to water yourself down.
That thing, rah. You know, so if we know most of the world not that bright, most people are not that smart, and you go amongst those people, you know, you're a different breed. Just say you're a cow going amongst sheep, and you say, I can't find a partner. Of course you can't find a partner. You're going moo. They're going bah. You're going moo. They're going bah. It's 2 different breeds, fam. You're not going to find a partner here. And that's just what it is. You know, I think sometimes people need to come to terms with that. You might need to dumb yourself down a little bit, if we're being honest. It's just what it is.
Some women have been single for so long they don't date anymore.
Single straight men, you have an emotional skills gap to fill before you are ready for a relationship with a woman. Let's back up a bit. It wasn't until 50 years ago that a woman could get a credit card without her husband's or father's written permission. Economic and social mobility without marriage is a relatively new thing for women, at least in the US. And that means that you need to bring much more to the table than just a good morning text and a cute date plan. You need to bring emotional skills. And what does that mean? Go to therapy. Do a Google, how to build emotional skills. Read the book Self-Compassion as a starter from Dr. Kristen Neff. And if you're not earnestly wanting to build these skills to have a better relationship with yourself, to feel more belonging in your life, and to build a relationship with a future partner, if you're not earnestly after that, then get out of here. So let women have their personal space while dating. Let them have their fucking bubble bath and not text you back. Go find a therapist, do a Google, you can do it, and start doing some of the emotional labor that women have been socialized to do in order to survive for millennia. There's a reason you don't have these skills yet. It's because of patriarchy and toxic masculinity, amongst other things. And so it makes sense why you don't have these skills yet, but that's no excuse to not start growing and building them right now. Do a Google and get to work.
Studies show that the longer you stay single, the more likely you're going to end up being single forever, for the simple reason that when you are alone, you create more boundaries for yourself, and you also have a lot more self-respect because you get to know yourself a lot more. So the longer you stay single, the more dependent you become on yourself instead of other people, and you put up with less games, pretty much. For example, if you've just come out of a relationship and then you get into a relationship again 3 months later, you're going to be able to put up with a lot because you are so familiar with having someone else in your life and having a partnership. But if you came out of a relationship and then stayed single for 4 years, you would have gotten so familiar with all of your needs, how to meet your needs, what you don't want to put up with, all the green flags, all the red flags in dating, that there are literally not a lot of dating potential partners for you, because immediately when you see one red flag, you know that that person is not for you because you have subconsciously created a list of do's and don'ts. And if someone literally does one don't, you cut them off straight away.
And you know, the funny bit is that sometimes when you've been single for so long as a woman, you get to a point where sometimes you feel you actually want to get in a relationship, like you miss the whole lovey-dovey stuff. But then when you see how people in relationships are being treated, how women in relationships are being treated, the embarrassments, having a boyfriend in this day and era is literally signing up for embarrassment. These men will do you dirty. These men will embarrass you. When I tell you these men will embarrass you. And I feel like that is why most single women are actually opting to stay single, because sadly the people in relationships inspire us to stay single. Like even the couples you think are so much in love, once they break up and they begin telling you what was really going on behind the closed doors, it's like, oh my God, like you people are really going through it. It's like being single is the new form of peace. Once you're single, you don't have anyone interrupting with your peace. You're not going to have sleepless nights wondering where that man is, if he's cheating on you. You know, you don't have people coming to you as a woman. Like you're literally living your life, your peaceful life, without all that drama.
Hey ladies. So there's another video going around of another man coming on here and telling us that, you know, all of you single women are not going to be able to have a perfect man. A lot of you guys are going to have to settle and just appreciate what you can get and yada, yada, yada. We've heard it all before. More scare tactics to convince women to lower their standards, or else you're going to die alone and be a cat lady, because that's the worst thing in the world. But it just reminds me of a conversation I literally just had with my uncle last week. He's visiting from Ghana, and we're sitting at the table with my dad, and he's like, you know, you're 25 now. We got to get you a husband. We got to get you a man. What do you want?
We have to get you a man. So it has gotten to that point where our uncles, our parents, our guardians feel like they must sketch a man for us. They must sketch around for a husband. Oh my God, I would be so insulted. I would be so insulted if my relative came to me and they were like, you're 25 now, we must do something, like we must get you a husband. Like, like, oh my God, that is so audacious, like the audacity. So I sit down and I tell him like my vision for like my ideal marriage. It's just me. This is what I want. This is how I imagine my married life to be. And everything that I say, he's like, oh, you're not going to find anybody like that. You're being too picky. You're being too inflexible, which to his credit, I mean, he might be right. I might be picky and I might be inflexible. That's very likely. I don't care. That's who I am. So he's like, I got this man back in Ghana. Like he would marry you, but he not going to do all of that. Like, you're not going to want all this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh yeah, well then I don't want him. If he's not going to be this, if I'm not going to be able to have this, then I just don't want it. And he's like, yeah, but this husband will be better than the one that you got. A kiki-king and exaggerated laughter because I don't have a husband. And to him, it would be better for me to have this husband than no husband at all. So I'll let him get his little laughs out.
And I was like, I mean, that might be the case if I didn't enjoy my life. I think that would be accurate if I hated my life, yes. But I really like my life. I really enjoy it the way that it is right now. And as much as I would like to add someone into it, I would love that. I would love to be booed up. I'm not willing to just take anything just because he wants me. That's not enough. It might be enough for you. It might be enough for somebody else. But like, in my opinion, if it's not going to be what I want, then I don't want it. I don't need a husband just for the sake of having a husband. That doesn't mean anything to me. That don't do nothing for me. So if it means that I have to be alone, then I'll just got to be alone. I don't understand what's the confusion. And he genuinely did not believe me. Like, he gave me so much pushback on this, but I'm telling the truth. If the only way for me to get a husband is for me to lower my standards, then I guess I'm just not going to be getting a husband. I don't know what to tell you. And I think that's the attitude that a lot of women are having these days. Thank God, finally. So now we're seeing an influx of men coming on here saying, you're going to have to settle. You're going to have to. You're not going to be able to get what you want. Baby, then so be it. They used to say you need to choose better. Now we're choosing better, and it's okay, if you keep trying to choose better, you're just going to end up alone. Well, then so be it. The only ones scared to die alone are y'all. We good. Let us be.
I've actually been single for so long that when someone is like, well, I hope you find someone soon, it sounds like a fucking threat. What do you mean? You hope that I find someone soon. What the fuck? You see me living good? You see me having the time of my life, and you want me to find someone soon? Why would I ruin this? Why would I?
That the rich auntie is an excuse for a woman that is not ready for responsibility or commitment.
I think the reason why men like this are unhappy with the idea of the rich auntie vibe is because you are embracing something that they used to use against you as an insult. Saying that you're going to die alone used to be like the most painful thing to a woman. But now women are embracing it because they see that I would much rather this than be in a bad marriage. I would much rather this than to be trying to force some man who doesn't want to be a father to be a father. I'm not chasing behind some deadbeat guy. I only want to have a child with a man that I know is going to be a good father. Like, now we're being more selective. More and more women are putting off marriage. More and more women are putting off having children and deciding not to have children altogether. And these men they hate being single. So they hate the fact that you seem so happy being single because they want you to be as miserable as they are. But less and less women are settling, and that is a good thing. Not to them, though, because you settling is how they get their kids and how they get married.
If you've been single for longer than a year, you doomed. Ain't a relationship out there for you. And the reason I say that is because you too fucking picky. You too strict. You don't let shit slide. You don't, the moment you don't like something, it's over with. The moment you think somebody might even try to think they might want to have you fucked up, you done. It's just not really a lot of stuff that you deal with now. Your patience is low. You know your worth. It's hard to deal with the shit with the bull, because it's your peace. It's so peaceful being single. It's very peaceful, so you be scared to give that up, and then so when people be coming and they disturbing it, because you know how like you like to sit in the house and just not do nothing and stuff sometimes, like, or you might have a day where you don't want to talk to nobody. Like, you could do that without, somebody being upset. Like, it's just peaceful. And so I say all that to say, you know what I'm saying, if you single and you like hitting 11 months, like, just get in a relationship real quick.
This is why women are single. They don't want to please a man. They want to please themselves. And when you please yourself, you end up what? Lonely. You be in the bed at night. Man, I sure wish I had somebody in here to cuddle up. But yeah, that last man said, hey, look, I don't want you to do this. And you said, look, I'm my own woman. I can do what I want to do. Hey, I want to see these comments.
I don't know if anyone can relate to this, but I've been single for a really long time, and I always have guys asking me like, oh, how's a girl like you single? Like, insinuating like I shouldn't be. And I'll tell you why I'm still single. Because my standards are, at this point, they're through the roof. Like, good luck meeting them. I mean, I require reciprocated energy, good communication, meaningful conversation that's not just how was your day, respect of my time, actually treating me like you value me as a person and that you can actually bring something positive into my life. It's really a lot. Like, it's rough out here. I need to lower my standards.
So guys, tell me what you think about this topic in the comment section below. Like, do you also agree that women who have been single for too long are so hard to please in relationships? I would love to hear what you guys think in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so you get notified each and every time I drop a video. Till next time, I remain Lisa. Peace and love. I love you. Bye.